3 disturbing true Home Alone horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Yeah, man, the good thing about Home Alone stories is that they're always creepy because these are always things that could straight up happen to you and me. We can all sympathize with the fear of the unknown when we're at home by ourselves, someone coming to get us while we're at home, and us being completely either defenseless or only having ourselves to defend ourselves from whatever the danger is, goddammit. So we're about to listen to 3 stories describing situations just like that. Without further ado, let's get it.
So recently, I had an experience while I was at a friend's house alone watching his dog that inspired me to do another Home Alone themed video.
Okay.
I spent so much time reading stories of people's horrific experiences.
Damn.
I forget these things could happen to me too.
All them stories.
In a different fashion. I'll tell that experience I had after the viewer submitted stories at the end of the video.
Okay, so yours will be the last one.
Experience I would also like to talk about is my experience with Scentbird, a fragrance subscription.
Okay. Hey, yo, man, Mr. Nightmare got his own personal story to tell here. That's gonna be crazy, bro. Let's get it. Story 1, Kristen Mercer. Let go.
Growing up, I was raised in rural Michigan. There was hardly anything to do. If you like staring at trees and crops and lots of alone time, that was the place to be.
Okay.
I got out of there as soon as I got a car and enough money to move.
Probably boring as hell.
I'm not a nature hater or anything, but I'd pick being by a big city any day.
Yeah, me too.
My parents don't own that property anymore. They sold it 5 years ago. But to describe it, it was a 3-acre property. The house itself was pretty big, and there was a storage building out back. I was 13 when this happened.
All right.
My parents would leave me alone often at this age. They trusted me because I matured at a young age and I had responsibilities on the property.
Yeah, 13 makes sense.
It was a weekend, and I was playing Vice City on my PS2.
Oh, okay.
Suddenly, a loud metallic bang came from outside somewhere in the yard.
Oh no, not okay.
Right away, ran to every window I could to look outside to see if I could see something. I didn't see anything until I got to the window looking out to the storage building out back. The door to it was completely open. I went immediately to grab the rifle from the closet and go outside. I made my presence known, shouting, "Who's in there?"
He got the blicky.
When I got to the door,
He ain't got the blicky, he got the blammer.
I had a gun before looking inside. There was a bunch of stuff in there, from the sit-down mower to the quad to infinite little lawn care items.
Okay.
Someone could have been hiding behind any of that stuff. Even as a kid, I didn't scare easily.
I see.
I got really unsettled, and so I closed the door to the building and went back inside the house.
Oh, wow.
I locked the door and then sat at the window for the longest time, watching the storage building, expecting the door to open at any second. That door was heavy and impossible to just open by itself.
Right.
It's simply a fact that someone came and opened it. Whether they were still inside of the building, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I decided to go call my dad and ask his opinion. I went to the kitchen to the landline phone and called my dad's cell phone.
Okay, it works. Phone works.
So I left a voicemail. This was back when you'd still have to leave someone a voicemail because texting wasn't.
Yeah, and ain't no texting.
After that, I went back to sitting next to the window, but now I put on a TV show in the background to make this less monotonous. I took the phone with me. I was probably about to give up when I heard creaks from upstairs. My heart was now in my throat.
He got in the house while you were outside.
Big question. Was I working myself up, or was someone here?
Oh.
I had a serious guard dog mentality. Even if I didn't love that place, I saw it as mine, my family's.
Right.
I had to protect it. But I was in over my head. I grabbed the rifle again and walked upstairs. I didn't say anything. Calling out would only make a potential intruder know that I heard them.
Right.
I made it to the top of the stairs, and I turned on the light for the upstairs hallway. There were 5 doors to open, all of them closed. 4 led to bedrooms, 1 led to the bathroom. Each door had a decently large crack underneath that would allow you to see under. The creak in the ceiling I heard moments earlier came from the side of the house my parents' bedroom was on. So I got down on my knees and looked under the crack of the door. I saw 2 bare feet facing the other side of the door. I felt my stomach twist into a knot.
Fuck,
bro.
The
reality of the situation just became so much more real. And I realized I wasn't ready to threaten or, God forbid, shoot someone.
Oh no, he's only 13.
And I hid in the bathroom to call my dad.
No.
He still didn't pick up. I left another voicemail, and then I called again and again. He never picked up. He must have had his phone set.
Damn.
I finally called 911, as I should have done right away.
Yeah, you should have been did that.
I whispered into the phone the whole time, detailing exactly what was taking place. I was told to sit tight in the bathroom and not say a word.
Okay. The dude probably left,
coming
bro.
down the stairs.
Oh, no.
And then they approached the bathroom door as if whoever it was somehow knew I went straight to the bathroom. The footsteps stopped outside the door, and there was a brief pause before a deep voice said, "What's up, kid?" I still remember the voice.
What's up, kid? Aight.
So vividly.
Aight.
If I heard that voice today, I'd still recognize it immediately. I almost wanted to cry. That's how scared I was.
I will blow you away.
I disobeyed what the operator told me, and I spoke. I said loud and clear, "I'm on the phone with the cops right now, and I have a gun." I put the operator on speaker as she was asking me if everything's okay.
Shouldn't have said shit, man.
The man attempted to open the door, and when he realized it was locked, I heard him walk away.
Shouldn't have said nothing.
The footsteps fade to silence.
Not even to get away.
The sound of a door slamming. It was the sound of the back door.
Fuck, man.
I'm sure I breathed a sigh of relief, and from there on, I waited for the police to arrive. When they did, I felt like 1,000,000 pounds just lifted off.
All they gonna do is ask questions and leave.
After a thorough inspection of the house inside and out, confirming that the man was gone, they asked if there was anywhere else I could stay that night, and I said yes, my uncle's house. We contacted my uncle, who came and spoke with the police. Then he took me back to his place. The thing that haunts me the most is that it was my fault. I could have prevented this. I left the door unlocked as I went to the storage building to investigate.
I mean,
clearly, that's when the man simply walked right into the house.
Yeah, but still, come on,
With
man.
a rifle in my hands, I didn't feel safe at all. It was truly the most horrific experience of my life.
Damn, bro. I'm gonna say right now, dog, the lucky person in this story is the dude who came into the house. And the reason I say that is because he's lucky he was dealing with a 13-year-old. Because I understand it. The 13-year-old don't got the resolve required to threaten or shoot a motherfucker with a gun. He ain't never had to do that before. So he ain't really got the resolve in him. I know some of y'all probably would have had that resolve even at 13. A lot of motherfuckers wouldn't. A lot of motherfuckers are adults and don't got the resolve required to actually pull the trigger on somebody. But what I'm saying is, had the dude been a little older, maybe like 16 or 17, got a little more, heart in him, a little more grit, nigga, it'd have been over for that dude. Like if that was me in that situation, I know it's easy to say what you would do in a situation where when you're not in it, but I'm just saying, in the scenario that I'm in the house, home alone, I confirm there's a motherfucker in one of my rooms and I have a motherfucking rifle in my hand, ready to shoot. I'm letting his bitch ass know, dog, you got 5 seconds to come up out that room. I will shoot through this motherfucking door. Like I'm about to blow you away. I'm about to put you away for good if you don't come about this bitch. Come out right now. And if he does come out, so sit your motherfucking ass on the couch, wait till the cops come. Don't try to run. Don't try to run. You ain't outrunning this bullet. You know what I'm talking about? Or these shells. There ain't no bullets, shells. Goddamn, you ain't outrunning these. You about to get this, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all agree. Y'all would have been on the same timing. But homie was 13. He ain't had that in him yet, bro. It sucks, man. It sucks. And he let homie get away. Fuck, bro. That dude was cocky, too. Walked up to the bathroom talking about, "What's up, kid?" What you mean, what's up, bro? You about to get shot in your chest is what you about to get. But anyway, all right, man. Hey, that was story number 1. Story 2 by Kate. Let's go. The itch, bro.
I was 18 when my parents went away on a week-long anniversary trip.
Week-long, okay.
My sister had already moved out by this point, so I had to hold the fort.
Right.
My parents' property is enclosed by woods and a dirt driveway leading to the road. The road is a quiet back road with equally sized properties running alongside it, all of them separated a decent distance, so it's a really isolated feel up there. Everyone in town knows each other. You see familiar faces all the time for the most part.
Yeah.
At the gas station, at the grocery store, at the bars, which I'd learn a few years later when I started going to them. Speaking of gas stations, this story starts one day while my parents were away. I was at a gas station filling up my tank when a black Jeep Cherokee pulled up to the pump next to mine. A man with a goatee stepped out, greeted me, and started filling his tank.
Okay.
In that town, it was normal for strangers to greet each other like that.
Right.
He had his nozzle locked into
I would have said, "What's up, too?" Like, "What up, bro?"
And he walked around to my side of the pump and went, "Excuse me, do you know how to get to the interstate from here?" I helped him to the best of my ability.
Okay.
He pulled out a notepad and started writing down the directions I gave him.
Nothing weird so far.
Very odd how he wouldn't just do that on his cell phone like anyone else would.
Okay.
He thanked me and asked if I'm from the area. I said, "Yeah, I grew up here." And he said he's from out of town. He didn't specify where. He then went back to his side and put the nozzle back in the pump.
All right.
He then asked my name, as he said, "It's nice meeting you." I said, "My name's Kate." He said what a lovely name, and then got in his car as I got into mine.
Oh no.
I drove out first and turned left to go up the road back.
I would not have drove out first.
A few minutes worth of driving.
If you were sketched a little bit, I would have waited.
Driveway.
My bad, I'm talking.
I slowed down and put my blinker on, then turned right onto the property.
Damn it, man.
It was at that moment that I noticed the car behind me was that same black Jeep Cherokee.
Shit.
He passed me as I turned into our driveway.
It don't matter.
He went the complete opposite way that I told him to go to get to the interstate.
Right.
As he passed me, he didn't slow down or anything, so it seemed that maybe he just forgot the directions I gave him and went the wrong way.
He wrote them down, ain't no forget.
I let myself inside and went about the rest of my day doing whatever. I think it was that night that I was going out to meet up with my friends that I stepped outside and walked to my car and heard the sound of footsteps nearby.
Oh.
Like I said, the house is enclosed by woods, and this was in the middle of the summertime. It could have been any number of animals. So I didn't investigate. I just got in my car and left. When I got back home hours later and walked from my car to the house, a man's voice from out somewhere in the woods called out Kate. I got the chills as I looked around, and then I rushed open the front door. I slammed it shut and sat on the couch to breathe. The neighbors all knew my name, but the houses are not on top of each other.
Right.
So it's a bit of a walk. And there was no reason for one of them to call my name like that, like a creep, and not identify themselves.
You wouldn't just be over here.
I decided to call my parents to tell them, and their explanation was it must have been one of the neighbors.
No.
Probably knock on the door.
No.
I didn't tell them about the encounter at the gas station. The next day, which was a Saturday, I stayed home most of the day.
Okay.
Later that night, I once again was going out to meet with my friends. After getting ready and everything, I went outside, and as I was walking to my car, I heard loud and clear from the not-so-far distance, someone call Kate again.
Bro!
This time, I didn't wait a second. I ran back inside the house and locked the door again.
What the fuck?
I called 911 this time, texting my family while doing so. After 2 cops showed up to the house, they looked around the perimeter of the property with their flashlights.
Of course, it's gone now.
Came back and said to call again if this persisted.
Oh my God, bro. Call again.
It's not really like they did much. I refrained from going outside until the next day when I had work. I was a server at a nearby restaurant. I was working a late shift. I left the house in broad daylight, paranoid to hear that voice again.
Right.
Thankfully, though, I didn't. Maybe seeing the police car finally scared them off.
No.
After many hours at work, I was ready to go home and collapse into bed. I pulled onto the property, parked my car out front, and walked to the front door. I stopped when I heard the sound of footsteps again. It didn't sound like an animal's footsteps, though.
God damn it,
I stood
man.
on the front deck for a second, waiting. And then, that familiar voice yelled out again, saying, "Kate, don't call the cops on me again, cutie." I yelled out, "You need help, you're sick."
God.
I let myself inside. I called the cops once more, and the cops came again, searched the perimeter again.
Didn't find them, and then left,
My parents told me I should stay at a friend's house for the night. I couldn't agree more. They would be back the following night, so after that, I would feel much safer being there.
It's some
friend Alex
bullshit,
told
bro.
me I could stay with her that night, so I packed a bag and was ready to go.
Okay.
I checked out the windows first to make sure the coast was clear.
Yeah, make sure he wasn't following you
Then
again.
went outside and locked the door as fast as I could, then ran to the car. As I turned the key in the ignition, I heard something right to my left. Right outside the driver's side door was a man wearing a face mask trying to open the door. I couldn't even scream. I felt like I was choking on air. As I put the car in drive, he started hitting the glass with his eyes.
Oh my gosh.
I looped my car around on the grass and sped down the driveway, and I turned right up the road and didn't stop until I got to Alex's house.
I'd have ran his motherfucking ass over.
Hysterically crying on the drive there as I had Alex and her dad on the phone with me. He said he would have come and picked me up had he known the situation. We called the police together for a third time in total.
I would have ran him over.
Officers went to my parents' house to investigate again.
But they ain't find
Sure,
shit.
no windows were shattered or anything. One officer came to Alex's house where I once again gave my description of what happened. This was probably the most action these cops had seen in a long time in this quiet town. Thankfully, my parents came home the next day, and I felt safe staying at home again. I fully believe the man at the gas station followed me home intentionally and scoped the place out.
Yeah!
Realizing I was by myself.
Of
For whatever
course.
reason, toyed with me until he actually tried to pounce and get me.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have given my real name, and I should have been more alert to my surroundings and realized he was following me in my car that day. Some people are nuts and have way too much time on their hands. This incident was a huge motivating factor in my moving out to my own apartment a few months later.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Dog, this is some bull, bro. Like that dude, man. First of all, like I said, I wouldn't even have pulled out before him. Like I'd have been like, if you was sketched out even a little bit, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just sit right here, see if this dude pull out. And if he don't pull out, then I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure out something else. But shit, there really wasn't no other way she could play that shit, bro. It just sucks that the cops really can't do nothing, bro. Like shit, they gonna pull up, they gonna investigate, but it's like, well, damn, dude ain't here, so what he wants to do. All right, well, I guess we'll see you later. Call us again if you see something. Dude almost got her, bro. She ran to the car, hurry up, jumped in, locked the door. Homie was outside the car door trying to bash it in with his elbow. Like, oh my God, bro. But I'm glad she was able to get away. And hopefully that dude never returned. Weird ass motherfuckers, man. People is weird, bro. All right, we got story 3. It's said by Brad Andy, but I thought Mr. Nightmare was telling his own story. Maybe it's after this one then? Okay, let's go. I thought he was gonna make his the third story, but maybe not.
I was home alone one night for a reason I don't remember. All I remember is my entire family was gone. I was 15 or 16 years old. I was a big gamer at the time.
Okay, 16.
I was obsessed with StarCraft, and admittedly, I'd sometimes spend a weekend night or two playing StarCraft or some other PC game.
Okay.
This was right before COVID lockdown started. I was playing StarCraft on my computer in my bedroom on the first floor.
Yeah.
That's when the doorbell rang, twice. I hurried to the door, not wanting to be away from the game for too long in fear of losing. I got to the front door and said, "Who is it?" as I always would if I was alone.
Right.
A soft and weak voice on the other side said something that I couldn't hear. It sounded like a woman. I opened the door, the storm door still separating me and this older woman standing on the other side.
I know what this
with a
is.
big smile on her face. She had her hands behind her back. I said through the door, "Can I help you?" She said she needed to use a phone.
No.
I asked if she could come inside.
No.
Ever since I was a little kid, I was always taught not to let a stranger into the house, ever. That included women.
Good shit.
I felt so awkward, though. I didn't know how to turn her away. I redirected her to the library a few blocks down.
Right.
They'd surely have a phone. Deep down, I knew the library was closed at this point, but I was just trying to get the stranger who was trying to get into my house to leave.
Okay.
She was still smiling, but what she said next did not match her smile.
Huh?
She said, "That's very rude to turn away an old lady asking for help." I replied the only way I could think to, and that was that my parents don't allow strangers into the house.
Right.
It's a house rule.
You ain't getting in.
I slowly started closing the door as I was saying sorry. She just stood there, not moving, but still smiling at me. And though her smile never changed, it suddenly felt much more menacing.
Yeah, right?
I was walking back to my room when the doorbell rang again.
Oh my God, bro.
There was no way in hell I was opening the door again.
I'm not letting you in.
That woman radiated weird vibes from the start.
It's not her, though.
Maybe something was wrong with her. Maybe
some motherfuckers here.
These were things I had no way of knowing, and maybe that was selfish of me to send her on her way.
Oh, fuck that.
But I just wasn't opening the door for anyone when I was home alone. I went back to my game. Not too long after I sat back down, I heard something tapping on the window.
Oh.
It was a clinking type sound from something metal. The window was directly in front of my desk.
Like a
I
knife?
had the blind pulled down so I couldn't see what was making the noise.
Or a gun?
But I already had an idea. My room was the only room with a light on in the house.
Oh, shit.
The horrible thought that it was the old woman from just before, and that she walked over to my window, terrified me. I turned off the sound on my computer. At this point, I didn't care about my game anymore. The clinking
you got the
sound
headphones, brother?
persisted. I basically said, "F this," up and left to a different room in the house.
Okay.
I sat in the darkness of the living room for a bit.
Wow.
And the doorbell rang again. This woman was harassing me now.
I'm not letting you
I tried to
in,
convince
bitch.
myself she wasn't a threat. Just some crazy old woman who's probably clueless as to where she is. When she rang the doorbell a second and third time, I decided to go open the door and ask her if there's someone I could call for her.
Okay.
But when I opened the door, there was now a man on the other side.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew
He
it.
looked to be about 10 years younger than her. He said through the storm door, "Have you seen my mother?"
Man, fuck out of
I
here.
replied saying yes, she came to my door just before. He then apologized to me and said she has dementia and got out of the house.
That ain't
I
it.
suddenly felt bad, but he asked me if he could come in for a minute.
No.
Again, I felt awkward.
It's this, bro.
You need to come inside.
Had he opened that door
The same thing that I told to the woman who
the first time, it'd have been
We
over.
could just talk through this door. I then said that I think she went into my backyard because I heard something at my window. I told him he could go around back and check. He thanked me and walked down the walkway, and I thought he went into the backyard. But when I went to the back and looked out the back window expecting to see him searching around, I saw nobody. Not him or his mom. This was all too weird for me. I went to bed on the earlier side that night, just falling asleep with the TV on in the background.
I had to go to bed late.
Until I heard the clinking sound on the window again. Something metal was tapping on the glass. I remembered the concerned man, and I decided to try and help.
Oh my God, bro.
Lifted the blind up with my hand, and I saw that woman outside my window with that same creepy smile.
Stop smiling at me, bitch.
On my window. I closed the blind and crawled back into my bed. This didn't feel like it was actually happening.
Bro.
A suspiciously short amount of time later, the doorbell rang like 4 times.
Yeah.
The clinking on the window stopped by this point.
She didn't get that fast.
This was all too suspicious.
She didn't get that
fast. Robbery attempt.
Yeah.
It is. I stayed in my bed. I was gonna wait this out. I didn't have a cell phone at this time. I wasn't the most social guy growing up.
Oh my gosh.
I also didn't call the police for some reason.
What?
I waited this all out until it finally stopped. The next morning, I told my dad what happened when I called him. He told me I was smart not to open the door.
Hell yeah.
Everyone agreed that everything about it sounded like an attempted robbery.
Glad he ain't trying to bust in.
Is there a chance that maybe that woman really did have dementia and that the man was really her concerned son?
Fuck that.
Maybe, but it all seemed too coordinated.
Yeah.
Why did he want to come into the house too? How did he even know she came to my house specifically?
Exactly.
Why didn't he ever go into the backyard to look for her when I gave him permission to do so? Too many unanswered questions that lead me to believe I avoided something terrible happening if I opened that door.
You did. Yeah, bro. Okay, here comes his story. 100%. 100%, bro. Had you opened that door the first time when she came, the moment you unlock and open that door, he would have bolted in. Because I guarantee he was standing right outside the shit, out of sight, but right there next to her. As soon as you would open the door, he would have, and it would have been over with, bro. Like, you would have got robbed or something else. The fact that he got her to fucking cooperate with him on that shit is crazy, bro. But you definitely did the right thing by not letting their asses in and, you know, standing your ground. Like, nah, like, you want to use a phone or something, you better go on somewhere. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm sorry. But I ain't letting you in this house. It ain't going down like that. Fuck out of here. So, yeah, man, that's crazy, bro. People really try to get you on shit like that. That shit is crazy. Don't open your door for strangers. All right, so we got 2 minutes left. I'm guessing this will be Mr. Nightmare's story. I'm guessing it's not even a long one.
So as I mentioned at the start of the video, a week ago as I'm recording this, something happened to me personally that inspired me to revisit this theme.
Okay.
So my friend Cody asked me to watch his dog Theo for the night. Theo's a little pomsky and he barks a lot. So when he started barking like crazy at something going on outside, I didn't pay any attention to it besides telling him to be quiet a few times.
Right.
But when he went to the back door and kept barking, I figured he wanted to go outside.
Okay.
So I was going to the back door to open it, but as I got close to the door, I realized someone was trying to open the door from the outside.
Oh.
And I saw through the screen of the door there was another guy looking right back at me. This was in the backyard, which was already alarming enough. And
right.
It wasn't someone I recognized to be a family member of Cody's. So I asked him who he is, and he responded asking me if I'd seen Melissa. Melissa is Cody's younger sister who's in her 20s. Meanwhile, this guy looked like he was in his mid-50s and homeless.
Right.
So I told him he needs to leave. There's no Melissa who lives here. And he said, "You sure?" So I said, "Yeah, you need to leave. There's cameras all over the property."
Get out of here.
He left right after that. Getting him to leave was easy, but when Cody asked his sister who that guy could have been, she said she had no idea.
Wow.
The guy looked like he was 55, drunk and filthy. Not exactly someone Cody's 20-something-year-old sister would be associating with.
Right.
The fact that he went to the back door and tried letting himself in was actually pretty terrifying.
It is.
You could only imagine what he was trying to do to Melissa, and it's why so many of these stories could be avoided by just keeping your doors locked.
Keep them doors locked, baby. Keep them things locked, man. Keep your doors locked, keep your windows locked, keep your wits about you, and if you got the blicky nearby, keep it nearby. God damn it, like, bruh, motherfuckers will try to get into your house and do all kind of nefarious things. You got to make sure you protect yourself, bruh. The people in these stories made good decisions, and it's what made them be able to get out of situation safe. One wrong decision, one, lapse of judgment could have spelled the end for these motherfuckers in this video. Or at least, if not the end, you could have got a traumatizing experience happening to you, like you getting robbed or something. But I'm glad they made it out, man. And then Mr. Nightmare's story, yeah. What the fuck does that do? Like 55 years old, homeless motherfucker at my back door trying to let himself in. He wasn't even knocking on the door. He's just trying to come in. What are you doing, bro? Now, if it was just Melissa home alone, who knows what he would have did. That shit is crazy, dog. But yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe out there, bro. These stories can happen to anybody. Home alone. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you out here chilling and motherfuckers try to get into your house. You got to make sure you take the right steps so that you don't come under harm's way. So with that being said, these are some good stories by Mr. Nightmare, man. Make sure y'all show I love this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave me suggestions down in the comments. And until next time, we up out of this thing. It's your boy Dairu, we signing out. Peace.